Welcome to another episode of Authentic with Brazil 201. I have a great show for you today. And today's thing is obviously you can't spell Gaza without MAGA. Now, obviously, you all, or if you're listening to this, you listen to Trump with Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, talk about how he wants to clear everyone out of Gaza. So, not just to clean it, but to make it American occupation and a bunch of other things. First of all, want to preface a lot of things here. Okay. I am a pro-Israel person, but I also do not think American troops should be in Gaza or Palestine. I do not think American troops should be building Trump hotel, condo, resort, whatever he wants to happen in Gaza, because I'm pretty sure people will be getting shot and RPGs at during that entire construction uh, situation. That is obviously not going to happen. I do not think American taxpayer money should be used at all to do with anything that has to do with Gaza in terms of building condos, a resort, or anything. Different situation if it's to clear out and remove like undetonated bombs and things like that. That is a different situation because technically the bombs were sold by America. So I like that's a different situation, but I do not think, you know, the whole build a Trump condo in Palestine is a good idea at all. And I am a pro-Israel person. Okay, I in the sense of like I'm okay with the Trump administration revoking the visas of the Free Palestine students who were here on visas for anti-Semitism and all that. I'm okay with that. There are rules when you sign your visa that the federal government has a right to revoke your thing for any reason at any time. So it's not against the law. Just you sign the thing when you are getting it. Just to preface this. Okay. And I think Tara Palmieri, Puck News senior political correspondent, had great information on this whole Trump resort in Gaza. Now, here's her entire tweets. I think everyone should give her a follow. Um, a source familiar tells me that Trump's idea for the U.S. to take over Gaza was first conceived by Jared Kushner. Kushner remarked last year that Gaza's waterfront property could be very valuable, adding, I would do my best to move people out and then clean it up. The source said that Kushner was involved in crafting Trump's prepared remarks. The request did not come from Bibi. And then here are Jared's comments to Harvard on February 15, 2024. Gaza's waterfront property could be very valuable. If people want to focus on building up livelihoods, it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there. But from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. And the other interesting thing is I wanted to look at many actual Republican, like super MAGA senators are like, yeah, I don't want taxpayer dollars at all to be building anything in Gaza, with the exception of like clearing out the detonated bombs and things to that extent, or have American troops do a permanent occupation in the situation of Iran. So I went on Fox News, not me like going to like, talk to Jesse Waters or anything, but I went on the Fox News website and went to look at the comment section, which are diehard Republicans. And there is interesting of all ideological spectrums here in what people think of the whole, Gaza as an American occupation, which, listen, of all of the crazy Trump things, right? I do think by the end of this Trump term, I think we get Greenland. I do not think Canada is a 51st state. I do think if that situation ever happens, Puerto Rico should also be a state. I also do not understand why Greenland would be a territory and not a state. By the way, in any of these situations, right? Does Trump not realize these places would be democratic like states? Even if you split Canada up into like an East Canada, West Canada, that would just be two democratic states. And also the electoral college would expand just so people get it, like understand. It's not like it would be stuck to the 538 to win. I mean 270 to win. It would expand. The same thing as when Alaska and Hawaii became states. It's not like other states lose their thing. The map expands. Either way, here are some of the comments from the Fox News Trump Gaza takeover plan. So, quote from a guy named Nunu Burns. I voted for Trump and support him. However, I do agree with Rand Paul. Just leave the Middle East alone and let them sort it out. Though they have some kind of war for hundreds, if not thousands of years, there isn't just getting through to those people. Let me clarify something. If they attack the US anyway, then game on. Okay. I mean, this other dude, Greg, I voted for President Trump on his promise to keep America first, right? That is what a MAGA is, isolationist MAGA first. Right now, I'm concerned about ideas outside of America. The Gaza Strip, buying Greenland, making Canada a state. We already are fighting massive debt. Where will all this money come from? Let's bring down the price of gas and groceries before we start taking it outside the country. To be fair, if Canada became a state, it would be more like an admittance process. Like Canada would vote to become a state, and America would also vote to let it. There's no like buying Canada. The Greenland thing, I don't know what the price is, but allegedly it's I don't know what the price is. Wasn't it like 500 million to buy Greenland? A guy named Payton. I like Rand Paul. However, I really don't think Trump should be talking about spending taxpayer money to rebuild the place as much as contracts for private businesses to go and invest in place and rebuild it through real estate investment. At least I hope that's what he means. Fair, okay. Rashid. I rarely agree with Rand Paul, but on this one we can agree. We shouldn't put our noses into the Middle East. It will not end well for us, as history has shown many times. Our kind of government doesn't work well when 95% of the population has already been radicalized. Our hands off approach will lead to a resurgence of Hamas and other groups, which will lead to the whole area blowing up even worse than previously. A guy named Jay. People need to understand that Trump is a businessman. He's all posture, threats, leverage, and understanding the cause and effects. Stop taking everything he says at face value. Read between the lines. He isn't going to take over Gaza, but what he will do is make all the surrounding nations take action and actually address the issue. Instead of saving face with other Arabs by admonishing other actions while doing nothing to help anyone but themselves. This one says Trump has begun a pressure campaign to force the quote unquote leaders of the Middle East to take a proactive stance for a change. This is about America first if the Middle East is stable. That's what we want. It's only what we've been fighting for decades. We should pray for Trump is successful in these negotiations. That's an interesting take. This guy, also named Greg, says, I don't believe Trump wants to own the Gaza Strip and make it into an oasis. I think he wants to open a dialogue in the Middle East. Oh, name Nick Carroll. Fix America first. Take care of Americans and then look outwards. There's too much to be done here. That's a very valid point. Guy named is this a girl? Atisha? I voted for Trump and I believe his policies will help save America. I do disagree with his plans for Gaza. His proposal will cost billions of dollars and so disconnect across people and governments of the area. With so many problems in our own country, we need to focus on America. I thought Trump was America first. What happened to America first? A lot of them are just like, wow, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Rand Paul. Who are the people that would benefit Americans owning Gaza? The decision. He says, oh, wow, this guy is really in debt. A guy named Ron says, I agree that we shouldn't occupy the Gaza Strip, but I do think we should clean up and remove all the bombs that are apparently all over Gaza and the Gaza Strip, right? And I think that's a lot of people seem to agree with that. That just removing the undetonated devices that are all over the Gaza Strip that Israel dropped is fair, right? I don't know what you can do with these mitigated bombs, and obviously you want to take them back. You don't want them to go in the hands of terrorists and things like that. That is a valid thing. That is different than, permanent troops in Gaza so we can have the Trump condo looking over the oasis. Bunch of crazy whatever. Also, the Elon situation. I don't know. Elon's definitely doing something illegal, right? We all feel like Elon is doing something illegal. Listen, I think Trump sees this from a real estate perspective. I don't know why Trump wants real estate in the Middle East. I mean, listen, I believe the Greenland thing. I kind of believe the Canada thing. I do not. I understand Jared Kushner really wants the Trump condos in Gaza, according to Tara Palmieri, who, by the way, everyone should follow. She is one of my favorite reporters, like real reporters / journalists, those Tara, Caitlin Collins, Olivia Reingold, and Ricky Schlott. As you can tell, I really respect very attractive white women who are hot because I am a fuckboy. Though I'm pretty sure all these people are like dating somebody. And also they're all like out of my league. Anyway, this has been another episode of Authentic Brazil 201. Remember, you can't spell Gaza without MAGA.